Hi, well, welcome everybody. So the subject of today's webinar will be Essential SAFe. SAFe is the Scaled Agile framework and is the market leader in the space of Scaled Agile frameworks. All of the Agile frameworks and all Agile working is built on the assertion that Agile teams are the best way to get software developed and get things done. So on the slide you can see a simple illustration of a typical Scrum team where we have a product backlog full of stories. We have a product owner who is responsible for prioritizing the stories that the team will pull to do their work. We have a Scrum Master who's the facilitator who will make sure the team is working effectively and adopting the Agile values. And our team needs to be a cross-functional team. That is a team that has all of the skills necessary to get the job done, which in the case of software development is to develop working software. Now we talk about a potentially shippable increment. As we get into the world of DevOps and continuous deployment, the cross-functional team doesn't just develop and test the software, they will also deploy, release and look after it once it's in the hand of the customers. And there's a general consensus in the industry that if you're doing software development, Agile teams are the best way to go about it. Now, when we talk about scaling, we should always keep in mind the first law of scaling, which is don't scale. To be completely honest, many organizations, large programs aren't really programs, they're just large projects. And to be honest, they shouldn't really be large projects. Nothing sets you up for waste and failure as much as assuming something is large and staffing it up with that. You know, appoint a program manager who has to have some work streams, and we have to have some work stream managers. And we often do that even if it's inappropriate. And the same can happen when we're scaling Agile. So, first law of scaling is don't scale. But what if you're in a situation where you have to? For example, what if you have very large systems that take many people to build and support? I mean, I've worked with companies such as Ericsson, where there are 1,000 to 2,000 people all working on the same code base, all part of a single product. You may have lots of teams that are all actually need to be working together. They have a lot of dependencies, they need to collaborate a lot. And the other classic one is that we've got a small Agile team and it's being successful, but there's a limit to the amount of work they can get done. So the demand for new features is more than one team can manage. So in these situations, we need to start scaling. And when we scale, we need to think about what's the best approach. Now, there are quite a lot of misinformation in the industry around the applicability of Agile. There are many organizations where they see Agile is good for little things, but if we're doing something big, we need to do Waterfall. Now, I've been involved, like I say, in some incredibly big things. At Ericsson, we had 72 cross-functional teams, all working on the same code base, a very big code base, over 7 million lines of code, but all integrated into a single product. The Square Kilometre Array that Susan mentioned during the introductions is the world's biggest ever radio telescope. It's being built with a kilometre of antennae in the Australian desert, a square kilometre of antennae in the South African desert. It will allow us to see things we've never seen before about the universe, and it will generate more data than the entire internet in 2016. It will generate more data than the Large Hadron Collider, and they're using a Scaled Agile framework to build the software, which requires newly built cutting-edge supercomputers just to be able to crunch the numbers. So there's people doing very big things with Agile. And the numbers that hopefully you can see, well, I apologise for being a bit blurry. There is a reference to the article a few years ago in the InfoQ, is from the Standish Group. Many of you will be aware of the Standish Group have been studying the performance of software projects for 20, 30 years. And they've been looked at the different sizes of projects and the different approaches since the rise of Agile. They can compare Agile and Waterfall projects. And what's interesting, a couple of things. Well, first of all, the larger a project is, the more likely it is to fail. But when you look at the benefits of Waterfall and Agile, on small projects, Agile do a bit better. 44% of small Waterfall projects are successful, 58% of Agile are successful. So an increase in your chance of success, and about twice as many Waterfall small projects fail as Agile. But look what happens when we go up to large projects. It's a 600% increase in your chance of success. Although the failure rates for large projects are much higher, it's still half for Agile than it is for Waterfall. Now, what I like about the Standish Group and their numbers is they're not trying to sell you anything. They have no tools, they have no method. They're just data and analysing and spotting the trends. And their conclusions were that the overall results clearly show that Waterfall projects do not scale well, while Agile projects scale much better. So the bigger it is, the more uncertainty, the more unknown, the more effective an Agile approach is. There's lots of great gems in the Standish Chaos report, one of which is that actually they find that satisfaction and value are greater when the features and functions delivered are much less than originally specified and are focused on the obvious compelling needs of the customers and users. And again, Agile gets you to that point a lot quicker. We don't build everything in one go. We build things in much smaller batches. We can release quicker, we can get faster feedback, and we can avoid bloating and adding unnecessary stuff to our projects. So, Agile is a lot of evidence now to show that it is the most effective way for developing software, and people are using it for much more for hardware, cyber physical systems as well. People even use these things for marketing and to run their own businesses. There's a restaurant in London that is run using Scrum and all sorts of things. So what happens when you scale? Agile teams are great, but what happens when we have many Agile teams? Now, one of the key things to think about when we're scaling is we need to have alignment. And as we plug Agile teams together, there's a principle here from Don Reinertson, the principles of product development flow. There's more value created with overall alignment than with local excellence. When we're scaling Agile and we're putting teams together to form a bigger team, they must have a shared goal and a shared mission. If you are, say, a games developer that develops lots of little games, and you need one to be successful, say an Angry Birds, there's no need for alignment, there's no need for...
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also getting complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.